And I've been able to be educated at some of the finest schools. I came from a very loving family and people who really loved and invested in me as a person, and that's what led me to being here today, and especially allowing me to lead the organization that is Southfield Area Rotary Club. One thing that I did get out of that is the idea that, you know what, a lot of people's expectations in their life pretty much are as wide as your experience. And your experience in many ways is determined by not only the things that you do and see, but what has been modeled for you in your life. And I recognize that a lot of really amazing privileges that I've been afforded have been because there have been people in my life to model for me that it's possible. And we understand and recognize through the work that we do here in Rotary that a lot of people don't live in that world of possibility. And what's really important and what I look at when I think about why I joined Rotary is that, you know, people need very basic things when it comes to life. You know, despite all the intricacies and nuances, people really look for really basic things. Number one, people want to be loved. And people want to feel connected to something greater than themselves. And also people want to experience freedom. And freedom comes about when people feel empowered. And people know that they are being a contribution and that they are able to be contributed to. And that's one of the things that I really got when I started learning about the opportunity that is Rotary. Is that you have an opportunity to not only do that for people, but you get an opportunity to really be that for people. And so when I look at the Rotary Foundation, it's an opportunity to contribute to being loving to people. You get an opportunity to contribute to giving people something big to live into for their lives, and for their families, and for their communities, and for their world. And you also get a chance to model for people what it is to, to really experience freedom, which means being free to just choose what's right and what's so for you. And it's very difficult to do that when you are worried about where your next meal is going to come from, or how you are going to keep a roof over yours and or your family's head. When you're worried about how you're going to pay for your children to get educated, if you're blessed enough to have them. So when I think about the Rotary Foundation, it's an opportunity for us to not only do good work and take action as we know Rotarians do, but it gives us a chance to do a few other things. And some of those things, you know, we talk about a lot in our club. Number one, Rotarians are people who show up. Y'all know how many of you, and I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with G.I. Joe, that, you know, showing up is half the battle, you know. You know, Rotarians show up. And though that's very important to do, but what happens then? You don't show up and bring your best to the table. How much of a difference are you really making? So in addition to showing up, you gotta bring your best to share with others. And then of course, you gotta take action. The next thing you wanna do is you wanna be able to cultivate teams and teamwork for greater impact, because the importance of that is, although we are powerful people as individuals, we can only do so much as one entity, right? When we work as a collective, that's when we're really able to produce change. And then lastly, we want to lead transformation. And through Rotary Foundation, and through the investment of time and of talent and of resources, we get a chance to not only do all of those things for other people, but we get a chance to really be that for ourselves. So it's not just something that we're saying in speculation, like, oh, I'm a nice person. Who cares if you don't do nice things? I'm just keeping it real, everybody. So a lot of the stuff that we do is just an extension of who we are. And inside of that, that's the payback that we get from doing this work that we call service and servant leadership, right? We not only get to do good in the world, but we get to be good as a result of doing that work. So it all falls in alignment. We stay in integrity in who it is we declare ourselves to be. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that, for me, ladies and gentlemen, is why Rotary Foundation. Because we get a chance to really put our money and our efforts where our mouth is. We get to not only just say what's important to us, but we get to really be that and model that and create transformation like that for other people in this world. So for those of you who have not had the opportunity to contribute to the Rotary Foundation, consider doing so. And for those of you who have been contributing, continue to do so. Continue to be who and what it is we as Rotarians say we are to the world and for ourselves. So with that, thank you guys very much for letting me share.